they've been inside for 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing my court. You can understand my hesitation in criticizing my court because I was part of the institution which I was leading just last year. Each one of these principles which I have mentioned does point to the fact that you can impose conditions to ensure that the conditions for bail are not abused, but you must necessarily take into consideration that they have the right to an expeditious trial, and if an expeditious trial is not possible under present conditions, then bail should be the rule and not the exception. It's easy to sit outside the court.
Yeah.
Having said this, judges, let me also be fair in the court. Judges have to look at the record of a particular case and then see what kind of evidence there is, what kind of material there is before the court. So therefore, I think I would be, as a judge who has sat in the hot seat for 25 years, be slow to criticize merely because I have a difference of opinion on this one. I think we have. In fact, during my period of 24 months, we disposed of about 21,000 bail applications. And I must tell you that there are cases which people don't think about when they criticize the Supreme Court for not granting bail in a particular case. And I'll give you just two illustrations which come to my mind straight away. There would be probably many more. You've probably heard the name of Pawan Kheda.
Yep. The Congress spokesperson.
Yep. Pawan Kheda said something which I believe none of us in the audience would say about some other person's parentage, be it a political leader or anybody else. He was about to be arrested. He was boarding a flight, I believe, at Guwahati, and he was about to be arrested. The paramilitary forces had surrounded his aircraft. His lawyer came and mentioned before us, soon after we assembled after lunch, that he's about to be arrested for having said something. The lawyer said that this is unforgivable. It's uncivil. It's not a case for arrest. And we protected him against arrest. That was a leader of the opposition who had said something which was uncivil, but everything uncivil is not something which is an offense under our law. And we protected him against arrest. Example number 2. Teesta Setalwad was denied bail by the Gujarat High Court, but they gave her time until 12 midnight on a particular day to surrender. The 2 judges who had heard the case differed on whether she should be granted a suspension of her sentence. One judge said she should be granted suspension of her sentence, which meant that she would get bail. The other said, no, she has to go in. The matter came up to me as Chief Justice of India when I was attending a music recital of one of my colleagues' daughter in the evening. And I said, this is a case, I was criticized for it, but I said, this is a case where she's entitled to be heard. Whether she gets bail or not is for that court to decide. We constituted the bench at 9 o'clock in the night. That bench decided, a 3-judge bench, a larger bench because 2 judges had deferred, and she was granted bail. If we had not done that, if I had not exercised my administrative powers, she would have had to surrender at 12 midnight, and which meant that she would have gone in for probably several months, or we don't know how long. So, these are the kind of cases which don't necessarily see the light of the day because it's very easy to be critical of those cases where you differ with the Supreme Court.